all of those things. Army sets up food, feed, shelter, all that sort of stuff. And in fact, we ran the emergency services centre at the RNA for the Brisbane floods, where we looked after about 10,000 people. So that's where you see the Army the most. Other things we do more relevant, I guess, to our local area and to Brisbane is we are heavily involved in drug and alcohol rehabilitation. The Army has the largest drug and alcohol rehabilitation service in Australia. We run 12 centres for that. Most of our clients, unfortunately, come recommended from the drug court, and they get the option, go to jail and go and do a rehabilitation program. Unfortunately, a large majority of them come through our front gate, referred by the court, walk through the centre, jump over the back fence and disappear. But they get caught again and they end up in jail because they just keep adopting their normal lifestyle. Just a little bit about that service. Our major facility is in Brisbane. We have a 93-bed facility there, which is a live-in facility. At the moment it caters for about 80 men and 13 women, but we're about to build a new facility within the grounds of that, particularly for women. The sad part about that area of our society is that it is multiple addiction. The people that come in, it's just not alcohol anymore, it's just not drugs, it's just not gambling, it is multiple addiction. And what I've observed over the last probably 6 or 7 years since I've been involved is the decline or the lowering of the average age of people that are coming into that facility. So where it used to be generally 50, 60-year-old men, it is now 18 to 25-year-old young people and women, so it's a bit sad. That's a 43-week live-in program. They spend 43 weeks living in there. Not only they go through a detox, but they get counselling, life skills, anger management, all the things. And it's wonderful to see the ones that actually succeed and pop out the other end. Unfortunately, we probably get about a 15% success rate, which is about normal in that area. And most of the ones who graduate re-offend and end up coming there 2 or 3 times. And we lose a few with suicides and various things throughout the year. And that's pretty sad when you've got to go and attend those and deliver eulogies or whatever. So that's that side of things. We also run, we have one on the Gold Coast too called Fairhaven, and it used to be where the new Gold Coast Hospital is, and that got taken over by the government for the new Gold Coast Hospital, and that's now located up on Mount Tamborine. So we still run that program there. The Gold Coast, we have a place called Stillwater, which is a crisis accommodation for women and families. And so ladies who are at risk, living on the street or at risk of domestic violence, whatever, can find a safe haven there. And we run a couple of those centres in Brisbane called Pindari and Glenhaven as well. And that Pindari does men and women, because men are at risk as well. And that's Glenhaven is particularly for ladies and children. And that gives them a safe place to be while they can find permanent accommodation and deal with their issues. We also have a youth outreach service which operates 24/7 in Fortitude Valley, because that is, again, I guess an at-risk area for a lot of young people down there. So we constantly have people on the streets in the Fortitude Valley, all hours of the morning, picking up kids and trying to look after them. And working in with the other authorities, the police, the ambulance, paramedics, whatever. So that's on that side of things. We have a family tracing service. So if anybody's trying to find a family member, it's just not for the Army, it's for anyone and everybody. That is a good place to go if you're trying to find a lost relative, a lost friend, a lost family member. And I've used that for some of our clients at Deane, because most of those people end up with family separation and they've never seen their kids or whatever for ages. So that's a great service. We have money care that gives people financial counselling as well. Jim, I've got about a 3-minute video, so it doesn't go very long, which just goes through a number of the other services that we do that you might have some interest in. Can you find it?
Yeah, keep talking.
Keep talking? Okay. The Army's currently in 124 countries in the world and expanding. And the thing is, in comparing it with Rotary has about 1.2 million Rotarians in the world. The Army has 1.2 million Salvationists. So although you might think we have lots and lots because you see the uniform everywhere, we only have 1.2 million. We have about another 300,000 people we call adherents, and there are people who are members of the Salvation Army Church but have not taken the step of becoming Salvationists where you wear the uniform. And that's to do with your lifestyle and other things. And everybody knows here I don't drink alcohol, and that's one of the reasons I don't drink, because I am a Salvationist. It's not a biblical thing. It's not says that you can't drink, but when you become a full Salvationist, because of the work we do with drug and alcohol and people like that, we don't believe it's appropriate that we should be taking alcohol and other things. But as my friends know who visit my house, there's alcohol there. They're quite welcome to drink. It's nothing that we worry about. We don't worry about it unless you exceed what you regard is moderate drinking. So how are you going there, Jim?
No drinking.
I didn't have any C on, that was the problem.
Have you got it yet?
Yeah, I'm going through your laptop. Can't get up.
That's Pindari that I mentioned. I can talk.
You might talk through.
There's the shield that we talk about. These are just little clips. This was just a little thing that was done for the launch for Red Shield appeal. So here they're talking probably about family tracing. But you can't get the sound on them. Counselling services, money care.
Get a technician there.
Check the mute.
That's right.
Emergency services, they're the ones that we send out when there's cyclones, floods, disasters. Some of the older members will remember the Granville Railway. The Army were the first there. That's early days of the Army supporting the troops up in New Guinea. That's our people that work with the services. The Sally Man is what's here again. That's people on the streets.
No, on the screen.
Dealing with homeless.
You switched it off on the video.
Oh,
So,
there it is.
there you go.
Crisis accommodation.
We'll go back to
Start again.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
It's only 3 minutes, so.
I need the microphone onto the speaker.
Hang on, we'll get this start again.
Ah.
Here we are.
For over 100 years, the Salvation Army of Queensland has worked tirelessly against injustice, poverty and despair.
I just need the video,
Using
Jim.
the philosophy of Christian
Just need the
compassion
picture.
and the time-honoured Australian tradition of caring for your underprivileged mates, the Salvos continue to offer helping,
Click on the
non-judgmental
picture.
hand to anyone in
Just
need.
keep it.
Whatever
Click on the picture.
aspiration
Just move your mouse
you
across the
have,
border where the picture is. Go right, go right, go right, go right, go right, go right. Click the mail bar.
Our first
That's
point
it.
of contact is Salvo Care Line, a 24-hour telephone counselling service which provides a listening support and
That's the Salvo Care Line.
Family reconciliation is the role of the Salvo's Family Tracing Service, which draws on international resources to achieve a remarkable 75% success rate. Money Care is the Salvo's financial counselling service. Confidential budgeting, support and advocacy is provided to people facing financial difficulties. The Salvation Army Emergency Services Division provides support to police, fire and medical workers dealing with major crisis situations. The great tradition of the Salvo's military support, so well known in times of conflict, continues today in places like Iraq, East Timor and Gallipoli Barracks through the Sallyman service. When people become homeless, the Salvos are there to help. Street teams patrol the homeless hordes with blankets, food and drink, and assistance with welfare issues. Short-term accommodation is provided at the Pindari complex in Spring Hill. There are separate facilities for men and women, with each providing shelter, counselling and advice. Glenhaven provides crisis accommodation and lifestyle support programs for families in need. Queensland has more homeless kids than any other state, and many of them find an oasis at the Youth Outreach Service in Fortitude Valley. Through a combination of compassionate care and practical assistance, the Salvos provide a drop-in centre where kids can clean themselves and their clothes, continue their schooling in a supportive environment, learn new skills, or just phone home. A recent initiative in conjunction with the police service is the formation of a Streeties drum band. Meet the Streets provides a chill-out zone for kids of cops to get to know each other.